On today's episode, we take care of this nasty looking transmission, get it all cleaned up, sanded, and painted. I'm loving it. And later, we install the lightweight flywheel and clutch from Action Clutch onto the K24. Alright, so here it is. Kinda looks like crap, huh? First thing I needed to do was get the old clutch line off, the slave cylinder, and all the little pieces and bolts that were just kinda hanging onto this thing. There was definitely some dirt built up on this transmission. Alright, so I'm gonna get ready and degrease this thing, because there was a lot of crust into this thing. You look here, I got the fork and the butterfly pin out, and just look at all the nasty in there. This guy was like falling apart in my fingers, and then good amount of stuff to blast out of the bell housing. Got all the other bolts out, slave cylinder out. I'm just gonna wrap up these plugs here with some plastic bags. I've already left this guy on here. I'll still leave a plastic bag over it. Then gonna put some plastic bags over top of where the axles will go into. So my plan here is to purple power this thing, and I'm gonna go ahead and pressure wash it, and then paint it after. So I opted for the route of the degreaser, pressure washing, and then painting the thing. I know some of you will suggest the oven cleaner route. I did think about doing that, but I ended up going against it because it's kind of a really hardcore substance. I didn't really wanna get that on my skin. I didn't wanna mess up my driveway. I didn't wanna possibly mess up the transmission. And I think the painting route ended up being worth it. You'll see. That actually does look kind of improved, but still gonna be painting it. So after that degreaser and pressure washing, this transmission actually did really clean up pretty good. I decided since I'm gonna paint this thing, I wanna make sure that all that dirt is off, and I went ahead and sanded it up. All right, so looking good, and probably the thing I'm most proud of out of doing all that sanding is this. This guy was pretty rusted up. It's looking a heck of a lot better now. Got this thing all taped up. I was looking at a few different paints and I ended up settling on this. I was really excited to try it out. But first, I just realized at this point in the video, I haven't even shown you guys the K-Series yet. I'm kind of so used to hiding it from everybody at this point in filming. But so here's where I'm at. This thing was all sandblasted, looks really nice. The engine, the long block, was not painted. However, transmission, you know, it cleaned up really, really good with the pressure washing and then with me going in and sanding. But you see how, you know, it starts to get all this kind of stuff going on after the sanding. They look okay next to each other, but that definitely still looks better, huh? So, let's see. All right, so I just tested this one little inconspicuous spot on the bottom here. Well, I guess not too inconspicuous, it's pretty big. But I kind of went with it because it looks really good. And I'm sure it's gonna look different than the engine, but you know, it's still gonna look really good. The more I'm even spraying this, the more I'm loving it. This came out pretty awesome, you guys. I mean, come on. It looks so good. Masked off the original sticker, so that guy's still there. Masked off the input shaft. That's looking really good now that we sanded it up a bit. Didn't take material off, you know, just took the surface rust off. This thing is looking so good. And compared to the engine too, it's a slightly different shade of silver, aluminum, you know, whatever you want to call it, but it is so close and it looks so, so good. So with that completed, the next step is installing the flywheel and clutch. And so we took a break, went ahead and cleaned the pool, ate some ice cream, waited for the sun to go down, and got back to work. So I got my stuff from Action Clutch. Love those guys. Lightweight 11-pound flywheel, and this is called their Stage 2 HD kit. It's not quite a Stage 3, but it's a lot stronger than a Stage 1. Much better gripping power, like a Stage 3 would be, but still with a lot of drivability. So it's not like an on-off switch on this thing. you want to turn that, we got to put thread locker on there first.
So I've actually done a clutch on a D series quite a bit, and at the moment I was wondering, like, does the K series actually have less flywheel bolts? Pretty sure it ended up being the same. Does anybody know? I feel like I haven't seen my D series in a while.
Product stuff too, like. Good, like, yes.
So with the flywheel on, just wanted to make sure that the surface was nice and clean before putting the clutch and the pressure plate on.
Tell you one thing I really love about these ARP studs, they use the standard kind of metric sizes. You don't have to have that special clutch and flywheel bolt that you always used to have for D series. Awesome on ARP.
Okay, I got you and the red thing in the video. Got you and the red thing.
Alright you guys, so that's the pilot bushing, lightweight flywheel, clutch disc, and pressure plate, all installed.
So that was a good one. Felt like a really good progress going on in this episode. Got that trans painted up. Man, that thing looked awful at first. So feeling really good about blasting all that original grime off, getting a fresh coat of paint on that thing. I'm gonna be cleaning up the clutch fork and the butterfly pin. We'll go ahead and put those things in, of course, when we're gonna be mating it up to the engine. I need to get the new little rubber grommet to go in there as well. But so before I can mate up the engine, I need to get everything kind of in place in the engine bay. Currently, the way this thing sits on the PLM stand, although it is an amazing stand, I so much enjoyed moving this thing around as I need to. Trav made a comment too, like it was so easy to put the clutch and flywheel and everything on this. Like with the D series, you kind of had to like straddle the thing before and then try to put all the torque into it. This is so easy with this PLM stand, but it cannot accept the transmission onto it as well. What I need to do next is get into the engine bay, knock out that passenger side mount, the stock mount that is always there for D series or B series, and then we need to start getting everything in place for the K series mounts. After that, I can roll this guy under, we can get that side mounted up, then roll the transmission under, then kind of get everything mated up when it's in the car and get it bolted up. I hope that makes sense. You're gonna be seeing it. It's gonna be coming anyway. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you doing, man? Come on and subscribe. We've had some awesome content on this channel. I hope you agree, and I got plenty more to come. Next, we're gonna be getting into that engine bay. We're gonna get all this stuff mounted up, and then I'm gonna have a K series car. Coming from only ever seeing the D series inside of this car, this thing is gonna be like, oh my goodness, inside of there. We're finally gonna have that K Series EG. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned. Talk to you in the next one.